Hey guys, what is going on? Today I'm going to be making a video on how to become the best Fortnite player in the world. Everything you need to know and everything you need to do. Before we get into that, if we can get 2,000 users on code MARINTM, I'll be posting daily for an entire week. To become the best Fortnite player in the world, the mindset you need to go in with is I need to play against other top tier players in Fortnite. I'm going to assume that most of you guys watching this video are under 10,000 PR players. And what that means is that you don't have the required achievements to practice against already professional players. So how do you get enough PR to get into the practice servers where pro players play? There are a few fundamentals that are absolutely needed to get enough PR to play against the very best. The first one is being able to fight at a high level. In order to improve fighting, you need to play a solo arena and lots of creative against the better fighters. The third thing you must focus on, and something all other professional players have spent hours doing, is valuing already good players. Valuing good fighters will give you such a good understanding of how to fight at the very highest level. You'll understand how to peak, what kind of tempo you should have in your fights, when to play aggressively, and when to play defensively. If you really want to become the best player in the world, you need to watch those players that are already close to having claimed that title and ask yourself, what are they doing that I'm not? But of course, being a good fighter is rarely enough to become a top tier player. You also need to play customs. In the beginner phase, when you're outside of the top 2,000 in your region, I highly recommend playing Noble open scrims if you're from EU and Vital scrims if you're from NA East or West. I'll leave a link to both of those Discord servers down in the description below. What's incredibly important is that you actively play aggressively in these customs, as the players aren't the best. And the amount of improvement you'll get if you just sit in a box the entire game will be very minimal. The reason you need to play these customs is to get a good understanding of how the end games of Fortnite work. And if you play a few of these open scrims a day, you'll be getting into the top 2k of your region easily. When you become a top 2,000 player in Europe, you can join Noble Division 2, which is a much higher level of practice than Noble Open Scrims that we talked about earlier. In Noble Division 2, you'll get punished way harder for your mistakes than in Noble Open or Vital Scrims, because the players are simply better. And the more you get punished for bad plays, the faster you'll learn. That's why you want to play against the absolute best players you can play against. In NA East, the same thing applies. The higher up you are on the PR leaderboards, the better players you can play against. Only on NA East, it all happens in the Vital Scrims Discord server. There are usually 4 lobbies hosted, where Lobby 1 is for the 200 best players in NA East, Lobby 2 is for the players from 200 to 600th place. The third lobby is for players from 600 to 1850th place. And the fourth lobby is for everyone who is outside the top 1,850 players. So in contrast to EU, you gotta be top 1,850 to start playing against slightly better players. Being in between the top 1,000 and top 2,000 on the PR leaderboards is a phase you want to try your very best to get quickly out of. Because both on EU and NA, the best practice is available for those who are in the top 1,000 players. To quickly go from top 2,000 to top 1,000, you have to play the scrims previously mentioned with confidence. You're not gonna learn fast if you just sit in a box and look in a wall. Naturally, follow the rules in the Discord server you're practicing in, but the sooner you realize you need to come across as an aggressive and confident player, the faster you'll get into the top 1,000 players. Alright, congratulations. You have now done everything to get into the top 1,000 players in your region. And you now have the opportunity to play high tier Vital Scrims and Noble 24/7 against other players within the top 1,000. This is where a lot of people start getting an ego. This is mainly because they are now the best player in the friend group, and they might also have made a couple $100s. But when you get to this point, it's incredibly important to keep staying humble and try your very best to get into a friend group with players who are higher up on the PR leaderboards than you. You do not want to be the best player in your friend group. Don't get me wrong, you can still be in your old friend group, but try joining a new one with even better players that you can sit and call with a little bit every day. Surrounding yourself with players of a much higher caliber will make it 10 times easier to quickly go from top 1,000 to top 100. It's also incredibly important that that you consistently play the sessions that are hosted in Noble 24/7 and Vital Scrims. Preferably, you want to play every single session they host. This is what players like Vino, Kami, and pretty much all the other best players in the world do. By consistently playing against the top of the region, it'll become more and more effortless to do well in tournaments. I want to emphasize that going from top 1000 to top 100 is incredibly hard, and it usually takes a long time. But in order to make this process as fast as possible, you want to make sure you surround yourself with other people who are hungry to improve. And you also need a level of consistency that most other players don't have. I think what a lot of aspiring pro players don't understand is that the road to becoming a pro player isn't always super fun. Most players that become the best don't play because they have a ton of fun playing, but they play because of the opportunity to become the best at something. And the unfortunate truth is that most players who say they want to go pro is motivated by the enjoyment aspect of the game and not the possibility of greatness. And that is why so many players get demotivated, stop playing, and essentially waste their talents. This is what separates those players that are top 1K players to players like Seti and Queasy. If Seti finds the game boring one day, he still plays because he is motivated by the fact that he can be a winner, not whether or not he will find it fun in his 6 hours of playing the game. Now that you have a solid friend group, you're in very, very good practice discords with the top competitors in your region, it is time to get a coach. If you want to become the best player in the world, a coach will help you get there. The undeniably best coach in Fortnite right now is Bloodx. The second best is Chocoladon, and the third best is Captor. A coach of this level will cost you a good amount of money, but it is an investment worth it if you're willing to put in the needed work to get to the top. If you're unsure about whether or not you're willing to put in the work, then you shouldn't invest in a coach, as it will just be a waste of money. A coach will help you set up a set-in-stone game plan that you can do every game. A game plan that is pre-planned before a tournament will ensure consistency throughout the games that will be played in that tournament. Without a game plan, chances are you'll do incredibly well some games, but terribly others. Consistency is what will get you those tournament wins. After you've got a coach and gotten into the top 200 in Europe, you can start playing Noble X. Unfortunately, this Discord isn't super active, but when they do host, this is the best practice in the world. So it's important that you play every session you can of this closed off top 200 practice. When you are a top 200 player on the PR leaderboards and still want to improve, you should, after a tournament has concluded, VOD review your own games and then VOD review the winners of the tournament. And ask yourself, what did they do that I didn't? If you see that they played incredibly aggressively, you should ask yourself, why can't I play that aggressively? And then you might answer, oh, it's because I don't have good enough awareness. I'll get third-partied and get scuffed. Okay, good. Now you've isolated one of your weaknesses. Now you need to take action to improve that weakness. Using this method, you can find so many weaknesses and isolate them all. But I strongly recommend only focusing on maximum 2 aspects of the game after a tournament is concluded, because focusing on improving more than 2 aspects will make the practice quite sloppy. When you are in all the discords and have access to all the best practice in the world, all it comes down to is putting your head down and grinding smarter than anyone else. Focus on yourself and your own improvement, and with time, you'll become better and better. And one day, you'll wake up and find yourself in first place on the PR leaderboards. And guys, there you have it. How to become the best player in the world. Thank you so much for watching. My name is MarinTM. Stay safe and take care.